Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping into a place of pure knowledge, the Hall of Light, and we're going to decode the lessons hidden inside the colors of the rainbow, all based on this really fascinating text about a mystical journey.
So our journey kicks off with this really cryptic inscription. It's found on a topaz tablet guarding this mysterious gate, and wow, does it set the stage. It's basically telling us we're about to explore the fundamental laws of existence. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so once we're inside, we're standing in front of these 7 portals, right? Each one is glowing with a different color. The first few steps of this journey are going to take us through red, orange, and yellow. And these are the ones that are all about the most fundamental physical laws of this reality.
So we start with the first portal, red, and bam, it immediately hits you with the most primal and honestly pretty harsh conflicts of existence. It definitely sets a serious tone for what's to come.
Now, the thing about the red spectrum, it's not just about violence. It's really more of a foundational warning. You see this direct link between, not having enough resources and the conflict that comes from it. But on the flip side, you also see the nobility that can be found in sacrifice. So at its core, it's this really powerful lesson about consequences.
All right, moving on. The orange portal kind of shifts our whole perspective. We go from looking at human conflict to something much more fundamental, this natural rhythm that governs, well, everything.
And in here, you see that transition isn't an ending. It's just part of a continuous loop. The seasons give you this huge, macroscopic view of life, death, and then rebirth. It's all about teaching us to embrace these inevitable cycles, not as something to fear, but as a beautiful, built-in part of the world.
Next up is the yellow portal. And this one builds on that whole idea of natural cycles, but it gets way more specific. It's all about how energy moves through the entire system of life.
And here's the crucial point, right? Our complex societies, they're not separate from nature at all. They're actually a direct extension of it. You think about the food chain, the flow of resources. What this portal shows us is that civilization itself is just this incredibly elaborate system for harvesting and managing energy.
Okay, let's keep going and see how this all connects. Because the next set of portals, whoa, they take us from these primal physical forces we've been looking at and into much more complex systems, the ones that govern thought, balance, and even meaning itself.
So, the green portal. It kind of brings us back to those themes of life and energy we saw in orange and yellow, but then it adds this absolutely crucial new layer, the whole idea of balance and wisdom.
And this comparison is so key. See, yellow is all about the flow of energy, but green is about the wisdom of that flow. It's basically a lesson in sustainability. It's saying that true vitality for the entire system doesn't just come from consuming. It comes from conserving, managing, and even giving back.
So, up to now, we've been looking at the external world, right? Well, the blue portal flips that completely. It turns our gaze inward to explore the nature of consciousness itself and how our internal states can actually manifest externally.
And this portal presents a really fascinating idea, that our inner worlds might have a visible component. It suggests that our states of mind are represented by what are called bioelectromagnetic auras. And get this, each emotion corresponds to one of the very colors we've been exploring this whole time.
Okay, now for the indigo portal. This one delves into one of the deepest human drives there is, our search for meaning. And it explores how we use symbols to represent these really profound concepts, and how those symbols change and evolve over time.
This progression is just incredible to see laid out like this. It shows how a single core idea, in this case it looks like a fundamental duality or conflict, can be reinterpreted again and again through different cultures and different ages. The symbols themselves change, but that essential mystery, the core purpose they represent, that stays constant.
So, after going through these first 6 portals, a really clear and complete picture starts to emerge. It's almost like we've been given a blueprint of the physical, the ecological, and the spiritual laws that seem to govern this reality. Everything from the simplest conflict all the way to the deepest search for meaning.
But what happens when you ignore all these laws? And that is the exact question that this final, kind of foreboding portal forces us to confront. What's the price we pay for forgetting these fundamental truths? And that brings us to the violet portal. This is it, the final warning and the synthesis. This is the ultimate revelation of the Hall of Light, where all these separate lessons finally click together.
Yeah. The violet light, it does not hold back. It shows you the dire, catastrophic consequences of disrespecting that natural and spiritual order we just spent all this time learning about.
And this is the crucial point of the entire journey, really. This isn't just random chaos we're seeing. This violence, it's shown as the direct result of ignoring all those previous lessons. It's a fall from grace, and it's caused by a fundamental imbalance.
But you know what? It doesn't end in darkness. In the end, all 7 lights flow back to their source, and they merge. This rainbow light reveals something incredible. These aren't 7 separate lessons at all. They're just deeply interconnected parts of a single unified truth. The ultimate revelation isn't just that they connect, but how they connect. It shows that the health of the entire system depends on every single part being in balance.
And that leaves us with one last, pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? After seeing this whole system of truth laid out, from conflict to consciousness to consequence, you have to ask yourself, is this journey through the Hall of Light just a history lesson? Is it a dire warning for our future? Or maybe, is it a prophecy of a cycle that's just destined to repeat itself over and over? The answer, it seems, is left for us to figure out.